Hello! Today we are going to have a look at Castle Seoul from a level design and world design perspective. Excuse me. And a blank there. Okay, and I've tuned down the sound for now because of this annoying lightning, so I will tune up the sound later on. Having a look at Castle Seoul from the outside, it looks amazing. I really like that they have much more details here than in forts that we've looked at previous forts. It looks quite complex from the outside, but spoiler, it is not very complex, which is sad. Because here's the entrance. We have a quick look at the entrance itself. Again, a staircase. They like their staircases leading up to the castle or the fort, whatever. And this is good and bad. The good thing is it's easier to defend because, well, the enemy has to... It's a choke point, right? When the enemy is standing down here, well, what can they do? Nothing really. They have to go up the stairs, and it's a natural choke point. The bad thing is, well, if you're bringing in goods with a cart or stuff like that, well, then you have to carry everything upstairs and in the castle. You can't just roll it into the castle itself, right? Okay, let's have a look. Here we also have these interesting looking banners, which I think depict the eclipse. Is it the eclipse? It's the same thing as on this shield here, the eclipse shield. At least it looks very similar. Let's get rid of the shield. Wow. Great, right? We have the eclipse thingy. No lore from me, I don't know the lore. I've watched all the lore videos, but I can't remember. For fuck's sake, I can't remember shit. Over here we have an interesting thingy. I don't know what I want to call this. Two things: either you station archers in there, which makes no sense. Second thing, you put in logs or heavy stones in there to drop onto the enemy. But then I ask myself, why over here? Like, you have a wandering mausoleum here. This is natural cover. Why put this thing over here and not, for example, over at this side, somewhere over here? Well, I can tell you why, because there is no blank wall, and we actually have one around here. Great, right? Yeah, I don't care either. So let's get into it. I really like the design of the entrance itself, because we have this... Well, it's always nice to have some different textures, colors, and yes, well, it's almost all the same color. There's not much... not that big of a contrast here, but we have the stone color, we have the mossy stone color, then we have wood, so texture change. It looks great. From a design perspective, this looks amazing. I really like the entrance. I like the wooden part, although a stone part would be better overall for defense purposes. But I'm gonna talk about that thing when we're actually at the walls itself. So let's get inside, because this lightning is going to be it's already annoying. Let's get inside. Usually right here we have two lion guardians, the big lions with the blade grafted or hammered into their forearms, forelegs, whatever. But I've cleared them because, well, they're annoying. And the fact that you have to fight two of them, two modified versions, modified because they have an extra attack, they can breathe ice, because it's a snow area. Of course they have to have the ability to breathe ice, which deals a lot of damage, but you can easily cheese them just by, like, standing outside the gate, because they can't get out. Oh well, okay, what can we see from this perspective? First of all, it's, well, a bit destroyed, which is like every single fort, castle, whatever in this game. And we have a church over here, like front of me there is a church. Interesting, but I see no housing, so that's another problem. And of course a lot of arrows, distraction. There was a battle here. They have these stakes. I call them stakes now, in the ground here, to increase the defenses, so the enemy actually got inside, apparently. What else can we see besides the battle aspects? We can see that they store their dead bodies inside the castle instead of outside the castle. They have their cemetery, or at least tombstones, inside the castle over here, which is an interesting decision. I mean, well, my own preference would be to bury the dead outside the castle, so, well, for obvious reasons, at least I think for obvious reasons. But oh well, it's not my castle. They can bury the dead wherever they want. And it's also interesting because this is a snowy area, at least I think so. I mean, well, I don't think it's a snow area, it is a snowy area, but because of the snow, they've put like planks here, reinforcing the path, which is quite nice. Otherwise, if the snow is like very high up, it's kind of weird to get a footing, sometimes. At least I can imagine. So a little path with wooden planks is quite nice. What is not so nice is, at least in my opinion, these excuse me, these wooden platforms over here, because they already have enough stone, so why not make these platforms out of stone? Would be more stable. At least it's like, would you build something like this? It had so many holes, like you have to be very careful walking alongside this path. Like, obviously it's gameplay and it's like it has so many holes, so because it's like old and destroyed, but why? Just imagine walking, like having to run across this wooden platform, and then like every step you have to like be careful not to step in between these. Oh well, you know what I mean. But before we go up there, I want to go the main path and just have a look at this gate, or have a look at this entrance, which is, it looks amazing. Except a few things that I'm going to talk about later on when we are actually on the wall. So let's keep going, shall we? Raised area, which is made out of stone. Very nice. And here's the first entrance to a quote-unquote building. And then we have this path over here leading up to an elevator, which we can't operate right now. But the never mind, no interesting thing. For some reason I thought this elevator was down, but we couldn't operate it. I don't know why I thought that. Doesn't matter. It's a long path, no doors here, no nothing, just an empty path. And so far inside the castle there were only two enemies. Two semi-boss enemies, or mini-boss enemies. And here we have the other enemy, and it's snails. Yeah, snails. And let's have a look at this small little snail-infested room. There are just a few weapons, a bookshelf, then these very tiny little benches, I guess, and vases or urns, whatever you want to call them. So it's basically... And a candle, don't forget the candle. And butterflies, okay. I want to climb up this ladder. Of course, they could have fitted in here a second floor at this height. Sadly, there is no second floor. Oh well, let's just keep on going up. And we are now on the walls, so I'm allowed to talk about the walls in these games. because it's the same thing as always. They all use the same model, but I'm going to repeat myself if you've watched the other videos. They have crenellations and arrow slits, which is usually not a combination that you want, because, well, what are crenellations for? You have a high wall part where you can hide behind, and then you have a lower part where you can shoot at the enemy. This one is not low enough, so you can't shoot the enemy. You can just, as you can see, it's at head level, so you can get a headshot, but you can't headshot someone. Unlucky, I guess. But then you have these arrow slits, which are also there for shooting out of. Like, you can stand here, shoot, and then you take cover. Oh no, you can get a headshot here. Well, you want one thing or the other, not both. Of course, it looks good, which is why they did this, but is it practical? Well, not so much. And this is interesting. I remember these. This is one of these half tower thingies, right? This is much better, because in other castles they had also these platforms, but they were a square, like with 90-degree angles, like in between here, which really made no sense. And well, this also makes no sense. Excuse me again, this might happen a lot today, but I don't know why they have arrow slits here, but not here. I mean, the reason for having one of these thingies over here is possibly so that you can shoot the enemy that is right at the wall, right? So you could shoot them from here, you have a different angle. Well, you could use this wall over there, but then the enemy is safe over here, so it looks good. It's a bit more, let's call it visual noise, right? Like, what is more noisy? Where is more to see? A blank, straight wall like this, or a wall with an indent over here? This looks much more interesting, and this is probably why they've designed it this way. Of course, I forgot to talk about the murder holes. At least that's what they're calling them in Age of Empires. These tiny little holes down here, which usually serve the purpose to drop or shoot the enemy that, or drop something on the enemy or shoot the enemy that is directly below or directly at the wall. You have this part that usually overhangs, like here, just a bit more overhang, and then you have these holes not at a horizontal, like not horizontally but vertically, so they're going directly down, or at least with a slant, like. So these murder holes are not functional. What was that? They're not functional, but I guess you can get shot in the foot now, which is strange. And then they have this wooden platform here, which serves no purpose. You're not protected over here. Then a weirdly not destroyed part, and this is odd, because usually they. Is this snow? This is, yeah, okay, this is just ice snow thingy. I don't know why they've built it this. Well, actually, never mind. They have these things in here because this is a different segment. But I'm thinking too hard about this. Yes, a different thing that can happen here. There are ghosts here, spooky ghosts. But I want to talk about this tower, because there's no way you can access this tower, but can jump high up. Let's see if it has collision. Oh, it has collision. Oh, this is amazing. We can have a look at this tower, and it's a round tower and looks interesting, but, well, it's destroyed. And I just hope for them that... this is scary. I don't like this. Okay. I just hope for them that they have some sort of staircase in here. Is there a staircase? I don't want to die again. So no, thank you. So I just wish there was a door here and then not this weird ass wooden platform, but a door on the other side here as well. So you can get in and get out, and so that you don't need these weird wooden platforms that they like to put at places that make no sense. Like, why would you have them? Why would you... Okay, this makes a bit more sense. You can get around the tower. Why not make it out of stone? But then why do you have this thing over here? How am I supposed to get here? Who put these barrels and boxes over here? Are they just throwing that from up there? Down here? Like, I don't know what their idea behind... I don't know what the idea behind these things is. Like, it's just odd. And I guess it's just there to, and like, as I said, visual noise to make it a bit more busy. So that it looks a bit more complex. And now, welcome to the bullshit part, or the part that I personally don't enjoy. We have a ballista pointing at us, and it's shooting 3 bolts that are exploding, and when we are finally here, we're getting shot by another ballista. Great, hooray. But where are we right now? We are right beside the entrance, right? Yeah. Over here is the entrance, and sadly, there's no way getting in there, but... Really? Let's see if it has collision. It indeed has collision. How nice. Can I get down there? One. Ah. I'm not risking it. Or am I? Wait. Because I still can't... Oh, fuck. Oh, I'm not dying. Okay. Okay, let me quickly jump up there again. This jump thing is so weird. Ah. Okay, can I stand here? Yeah, nice. Ah, nice. This is... Well, it looked much better from the outside, because now you have... Now you can't even see anything. I would... This could be so easily fixed. Put down the... Like, get rid of the crenellations and only put the wooden part here. It looks so nice from the outside. I guess you're not supposed to be here, so... Well, off with me. Right. But the entrance is quite nice. This... Well, they worked with what they had on assets. Like, well, that's what they had. They're not making a custom asset for like an area that you can't even see or you can't even get to. But I just wish we had like door indications over here so that someone could potentially get into these towers over here. Thank you. And then, again, nonsensical wooden platform over here, and a... Let me get up here, and then a wooden bridge, which is... I mean, it's... alright, I guess. But why build this outside here, like the wooden staircase and this wooden bridge? Why build this on the outside? Why not just, if you want to have a bridge across here, then put a door in here. Very simple. A door, and then to get up here, make a staircase inside instead of this ladder that leads down there. Could have easily done that. Like, I get it, assets, whatnot, but well, the level design here is also questionable. I'm not a fan of these ballistas. You basically have to, like, first of all, trigger them that they shoot once. At least this guy shoots once Of course, you can shoot them with a bow and arrow, but they shoot once, then you rush them, then you have to roll through the next volley, try and kill him, and then you're probably the first time getting shot by him. Then you have to do the same thing again here. It is... I don't like it. I'm not a fan of that. And here you can see one of those asshole birds. On this side, with an item. And this item is so disgustingly evil placed. Like, it is disgusting. The right move is, quote unquote right move is, to get down there, open the door, come up here, and then grab this item. Because if you're, well, if you jump up here and then grab that item, excuse me bird, but I don't like you. Really. And then grab that item, the only way is down. No, you can't get back up. So, do the things down here first. Going down here, we can see again, there's easily enough room for a different room that can be accessed via the bridge over there. But no, they've made these wooden thingies outside. In this room we have boring little painting and same interior, vases, logs, at this time a table, isn't that great? Bookshelves, whatnot. Nah, I don't need to get back up again. I don't really need to get back up again. But this is all nice, and now you're here, so why does this thing even exist over here? I can tell you why, because not everyone wants to go around the whole thing. So it's nice for the developers to put here a way getting to this point. Although you have to fight the bird, which is, well, unlucky, I guess. Another part that I'm not really getting is why a wooden bridge across here. I guess it looks more interesting, but from a realism perspective, like, no thank you, make this bridge out of stone. Much more stable. Or maybe not. Yeah, getting through here, it's a much more interesting looking room with all these, strange bars on the wall. I don't really get the purpose of these, but it looks better, right? Let me put the lantern here. It looks quite cozy. And of course here we have some cages, so they actually had prisoners here. Yeah, more enemies. And before we get into the chapel thingy over there, we have a staircase over here that leads us to an item. Isn't that great? There's an item over here. Why not putting extra rooms in here? Because this place really feels empty, and they have so much space, they have so much potential space, but they're not utilizing it, which is odd. Again, wooden bridge. And away we have a ghostly banished knight over here. Oh, there's the meme knight in this place. There's the meme knight we will get to shortly. Then I don't know why this spot exists. I guess just so that this dude can shoot at us. Well, yeah, depicting a flaw of this wall. If this dude can't even shoot through the arrow slits or above these lowered correlation parts, like, come on, FromSoft, come on. I don't know why this door exists. Because here's another door. I guess this is a reused asset. Now that I think of it, this might be with some exceptions. This is basically the same church model that they have in Stormvale Castle, where you find Roger in here. Yeah, it looks the same, just minus a few things. Of course, you don't have a wooden floor in here, and you don't have these walkways on the side of the church itself. Basically, you can't walk on the roof. But I wonder, I think this thing has still collision, right? Can I stand on here? I can stand here. Very nice. Yeah. Oh yeah, these parts are closed. You can see they have a... maybe not. This one has a different lighting, so I thought... because it's a bit more bluish. But yeah, it's a fully intact rooftop. Oh no, you have these sidewalky things that just... ah, nice. Oh, well, it's the same thing as in what's it called? Stormvale Castle. So of course you have these sidewalk thingies over here. Oh no, not on this side. But I can't remember. Doesn't really matter. We are not supposed to be here, but it's nice to see that it's the same model. So, a checkpoint over here with a weird little room with door over there, door over there, door over here. 3 rooms. Not 3 rooms, 3 doors and 4 walls, 3 doors. Interesting. Then we have this nice little ladder here. Why not a staircase? I don't get it. Much harder to go up a ladder than a staircase, but oh well. Leading to this optional part over here. And, well, here we have a stone bridge, so they obviously can build stone bridges. So why not make these small bridges there out of stone? I don't know. Let's keep going. Not very happy about this part. You're unprotected. I'm not happy about this. Shouldn't exist. Like, I get it. There's a cliff over here. We have this is cliff. Like, well, but yeah, it's unprotected. Put a stone bridge here with granulations on them. Like, yeah, I think that should be a no-brainer. Another banished knight over here, more useless wooden platforms on places that where they shouldn't be. This weird-ass tower thingy, not really tower, but towery thing, which is actually good. So you can shoot this way. But again, this weird part over here. Not much to say about this part, just that the design is a bit messy. But it looks great. It makes up for a good level. I mean, makes a good level, but... okay. Yeah, another optional path. Just for items. Which is fine. I mean... I'm talking about that I want to have this castle or the castles and forts in this game to be more complex. But of course, from a level design perspective, you have to think of, do I want to make this thing more complex than it needs to be? I argue yes and no, because you can indicate complexity by paths the player can't take. For example, doors that can't be opened. Can't be opened, excuse me. Like, these doors, you can't open them, but they're clearly here, right? So, indicate complexity. In these things where you climb up a ladder, put an extra platform there that the player can't get to, right? But of course, if you make it more complex so that you can actually explore it, then there needs to be an incentive for the player to make it explorable. Like, you can't just put an empty space there and expect the player to have fun there. You need some sort of reward at the end, right? Usually that's how it goes. We are fairly close to the end here. I'm not really getting why this thingy over there exists. Why is it not a small little staircase leading here? Let's keep going the another optional path. And this is like this thing. Why do you have a tower part outside? Like, not tower part, but this platform over here with a ladder. Instead of just a way going inside the wall, and then you like make this tower accessible with a ladder inside and put a door here so we can get out. Then you don't need to have these nonsensical parts over here. They have tower models that are accessible, but well. Again, now we have to decide, go down there, or I think we have to decide, right? I think you can't get back up here. Or can you? Oh no, never mind. You have this nonsensical part and then, yeah, okay. Now you basically want to get down here, get the stuff that's down here. Be careful, there are a lot of rats. Just one item. And then you have access to this part over here, which is otherwise inaccessible. Why is there no staircase here? Level design, probably. Maybe just an indication, maybe a broken down staircase would fix things. Because currently this part I'm standing right here is only accessible via the path that I've taken right now, and the path is not very good, because I basically had to jump here. A bit weird, right? Well, not much to do here, but where are these sounds coming from? Well, you can jump there and then get to the worst part about this area here, I argue. Let's go this way, because you can do something very stupid. Wooden platform going outside. This is cringeworthy. This is always cringeworthy when they have wooden platforms, unprotected wooden platforms, no protection thingies, going around on the outside a tower or a wall just to dip in to the place itself. Like, what the fuck? Nice crenellations here, buddy. These are way too small. They're not raised enough. Come on, guys. And this is the meme night, because the phantom dudes here, first of all, this one is stronger because he has red eyes, right? He's a strong dude, but the strong part about these phantoms, well, is they can teleport. And I argue that the dual greatsword variant is the most dangerous, possibly the most, not possibly, but surely the most aggressive type, and they can teleport. So this one is dangerous. And you've probably, if you're interested in Elden Ring, you've probably seen the video of the... There are a lot of memes here, like the to be continued meme, where this one, like, appeared behind the player. Just comedy gold right there. Yeah, and here we are on the other side of the gate entrance, and another dead end, just for a... I've never used this item, so for me it's useless. It's not worth getting, in my opinion. Well, I'm picking it up, and I'm going to pick up these things anyways, because I sadly like to pick up everything in the game, which is quite the burden, at least for me. But oh well, we have a chapel. So far, by the way, there was no indication of a place for the soldiers to sleep. I guess that's why they're all these tombstones, because, well, no one can really sleep here. They all have to stay outside and cold, and they die, and then I have to bury them. Well, or they are sleeping on this blanket thingy. You have to be careful in here. You have to be very careful approaching this place over here, because no, these tortured albinorics are not the important or not the dangerous part. The dangerous part is this dude hanging here. This albinoric. Because when he screams, I'm not sure if it's this one or if it's... Ah, it's this one. Yeah, when he screams, enemies spawn. That would... If you kill him before he screams, then these enemies won't spawn. Same thing with this one. He spawns one of these dangerous dudes. Which is quite even. And finally we can activate this magic... I guess ghosts are... like these phantom ghost dudes are. I don't know how this elevator is supposed to work. It makes no sense again. But at least it looks solid. But it makes no... Elevators like these make no sense. Like, what is this... What is the pressure plate supposed to do, right? It's not connected to anything. You're not activating a mechanism by stepping on that pressure plate. It's just for gameplay reasons here. And as I'm always saying, the elevators powered by magic, or at least the elevators that are made completely out of stone, make more sense, because the stoned ones are, like, you could argue there is a very complex mechanism behind that thing, but and the magic powered elevators are the most believable ones because they're powered by magic, and this game has magic, so it makes perfectly sense from a fantasy setting, right? And here we have a very irritating boss fight for a lot of people, but there is a trick to it. Of course, he summons those two dudes here, but what you can do, is, first of all, you want to target this one first, but you can do this as a host, and as a phantom, you have to put in the bewitching branch, or branch, whatever where you're coming from. If the host goes through, you still have enough time as a phantom, but as a host it's easier. But you have to equip the bewitching branches, then you go through, you rush over here, and as you've seen, he needs time to summon them. Stand close, and once he is there, you use one of these, poke him with it, and now... Why is he fighting me? Let's activate the boss. I guess it's not working due to the cheat engine. But the... Excuse me. Let me quickly kill this dude. And with quickly I mean very slowly, because he has a lot of HP. Okay. Usually what the bewitching branch is doing, and this was probably not possible due to the cheat engine, is it charms basically. Well, yeah, it charms an enemy, so the enemy will fight for you. And do this on the first dude, and if you can, do it on the second one. You can craft them with something. Sacramental Bud, easily to farm, and Nicholas Lily probably also. it's easy to farm. I don't know what kind of book you need for that, but it's... If you've played through the game normally, then you have the book already, like... Let's have a look at this place, because it's very highly defended, or very strongly defended, because you have tower over here, broken down... Is this a tower? Let's have a look at it. Looks like a tower. It doesn't, but... You have a tower over there, you have these minor towers, I guess this was a minor tower. Tower over there, like... It's like playing Stronghold Crusader and putting, instead of walls, you put towers all around your fortress, like... excessive use of towers. But again, none of these towers has a door, making them inaccessible, unlucky. And this one leads, quote-unquote, outside of the castle and is not protected, which is bad. Put some crenellations here and this bridge part is fine. Well, not much to do here. It's very empty, this part is very, very empty. You basically just have this room with the nonsensical elevator inside. And then... Wow, nothing new here. And then you have this item over here, the Harlech Tree secret medallion. And this dude, Lord Mikola, forgive me, the sun has not... blah blah blah. I will never set my eyes upon it now, your divine Harlech Tree. But it's down there. I mean, yes, he means, oh, I can't get down there. It's so close, but yet so far. It's down there. It's down there. But this was Castle Sol. Sol means sun in a language. Was it Latin? I don't know. Maybe Greek, Latin, something like these. Some of these languages. But yeah, this was Castle Sol. Looks more impressive. But there are a few things that I'm not very happy with. In particular with lack of living space. This is something that I always find immersion breaking, at least for me. Because you already have this very interesting looking structure over here, but then it gets, like, for me, the illusion of a nice castle is getting destroyed by the lack of a living space. Like, there's no indication that you can actually live in here. Yes, it has some rooms, but am I supposed to sleep on the ground? Like, no beds? And by the way, no toilets either. And I'm not even sure if this one had a kitchen. So, lack of very important rooms. And you have the cemetery inside the castle instead of outside the castle. Like, what the fuck? And even the layout is a bit complex. Like, you have a lot of towers in the wrong directions. Like, towers on the outside, like on this side, on the... It's just weird. It's a weird layout, but the level design is fine. The level itself is fine. And I personally like to fight versus, like what's it called? Humanoid enemies. Like, I like to fight against the banished knights and the exiled soldiers, even if they're nonsensical wooden structure over here. Let's stand on here for some time. And they have some graves are even outside. I remember up here, it's all a graveyard up here. Like, what the fuck? But yeah, not much variety, enemy variety. Actually, there's quite a lot of enemy variety if I think of it. We have 2 lion guardians. We have a bird, like a storm hawk with the fire thingy. We have rats. wolves, snails, and the soldier types like the exiled soldier, and we have Albinorics like the tortured Albinorics inside. So there's quite a lot of different enemies in here, which I appreciate. Yeah, not very complex, but it's, with some exceptions, fun to go through. So how would I rate this? Because of the enemy diversity we have in here, I would give it the level design, enemy part level design thingy, I guess an 8 or 9 for a this sized castle. It's quite nice. What am I pressing here? I don't want to do anything. So enemy diversity is 9. Level design itself, like, it's very linear. So there are not multiple paths leading to the same, like, to the boss itself. There are not many paths leading there. But it's fine for a small area like this. This is fine. The level designer would give a 7 at maximum, I guess, because it's nothing special, but I have to rate this within reason, right? But it's quite fun. The level design is quite fun. You have to be careful at some points so that you're not accidentally, for example, grabbing an axe and then you have to go all around again because you forgot to open that door, right, to get to that painting. You have to be careful with that thing. And then on the outside of the church, there's also an item that I've not shown here, not directly shown. You could probably see it at some point, which leads to a weird, what's it called? Backtracking part, which I'm not very a fan of. I don't like backtracking. Like, you've cleared the thing, then you're getting to a spot and then you have to go through the empty thing again because, well, you went a path of no you went a path of no return, basically. So maybe a 7 at maximum, at 7. A 6 bis 6, something in between 6 and 7, I guess. So the level design is a 7, I would say, with enemy diversity in mind. And then the world design. Well, the world design is... it looks good, but it has some of these nonsensical things like missing doors in the towers. The crenellations and the walls are kind of wrong. You have pathways like this wooden platform outside of the safety of your walls. But it looks good, I guess. Although it's not helping that there's snow here. I usually don't like snow areas. Because... let's have a look at the roof. The roof is the reason why I don't like snow in general. It looks like shit. It's white with like brown stone color, like brown blackish things. It doesn't look great. Does it look good to you? I think it looks ugly as fuck. I don't like snow. That not in real life, because where I live there's at maximum this dirty snow that very quickly turns to ice, to like the slushy ice, so to speak, which is not fun and looks dirty as hell and not fun. I don't like snow. I'm not living in an area where there is a lot of snow, and when there is not a lot of snow, I don't want snow. I either want the full package, like a lot of snow or no snow, nothing in between. And this is like something in between and it looks ugly. Right, but the castle itself looks okay, but it is not okay. It's functioning, but it could function a bit better. As I've said, I'm standing on the best example. Actually, the worst part is the part over here. Like, This tower is the worst tower, like walking outside of that makes no sense. So I have to just subtract some points there. Not distracting the points, I'm subtracting them. So I would give it the world design is 5-ish, because it looks great, but the lack of living space, the lack of sense in the design is like I don't like it, and it's not helping that it's that it's a snow area. I guess without the snow, this one would be a 6, but it's a 5. Sorry, I don't like Castle Sol. World design perspective is terrible. Like the world design is terrible. Nothing to say about this, but maybe you're disagreeing. Let me know how you would rate this thing, and that's it from me. Goodbye.